Okay, I just got this download. If you're struggling with your manifestations lately or noticing that like things aren't really going out in your favor, maybe like not feeling so confident lately, it's because subconsciously you are dealing with some like fears and doubts, some insecurities. Maybe some shit happened in your past that, maybe like, for example, like say you did a talent show and like you thought you did amazing. You were doing what's that one dance? Doing the Running Man in front of the whole school, and you felt like you were getting it. You were funky. You were dancing real good for the ladies or men, whatever. And then Sally comes up and she starts showing her seashells that she sells by the seashore, and she wins the talent show. So subconsciously, it created this thing like that will come up once in a while where you like don't believe in yourself or you're afraid to lose. F Sally, okay? I'm sure your Running Man was great. But anyway, metaphorically speaking, hopefully you get what I'm saying. But what's going on with you right now is that must be coming back up. Because as we heal from these things that we've gone through, we heal from things, we grow from them, and then later on in life, all of a sudden, that inner child with that same issue will pop up out of nowhere and be like, "Yo, I'm back with a vengeance. Here's some self-doubt. You thought you beat me, didn't you? But joke's on you. You thought you were confident." Well, anyway, so Spirit is just warning you about the way that you're presenting yourself at work. I'm seeing people like talk in front of others, like maybe public speaking, maybe you're an influencer, maybe just even communicating with your friends. You are engaging with your fears and your doubts. So especially if you're trying to sell something to someone, having those fears and those doubts within yourself is affecting the outcome of whatever it is that you're doing. So some of you are trying to sell something. Some of you are trying to entertain someone. Some of you are, presenting an idea or an invention and or just trying to manifest something, or in a relationship. Okay, you guys have some communication issues, you're working through shit, but your fears and your doubts are beneath the maturity. So you could be talking normally, you could be having a healthy conversation, but deep down you have these fears and these doubts, which then affects the way that the energy comes across to your partner, and the way that it is received as well, and the outcome from that. So it's time to release some emotional weight. And trust me, I know, I feel this. I'm heavy. I literally every day, at least once a day, I find myself starting to cry over something when someone asks. Like, this is my normal posture, by the way. Like, I'm going through it too. It feels comfortable to just kind of slouch and like be in my own little bubble. I don't want to have to try to act perfect for anyone, and I hope that you don't either. But anyway, releasing emotional weight and it doesn't just have to be crying. Like tonight, I plan to go to this place called Sky Bar, where they have DJs and they do music, and I'm just gonna dance. If I don't deal with the emotions, they get so heavy that like, for example, if I didn't deal with them even at all, like, I might not even be able to dance tonight. We'll see how I'm feeling emotionally. That'll definitely be the telltale sign. Emotions carry weight, and they just get heavier and heavier and heavier and heavier the more that we avoid them. So whatever that means to you, releasing emotional weight, whether it's cutting people out of your life that are toxic, lowering your expectations, maybe you need to talk nicer to yourself, maybe you need to stop thinking about the past, maybe you need to stop future tripping or taking things personal. It could be something this little to something this huge. Just got to release that emotional weight wherever it's coming from. Opening up to the dreams and the visions. So like once you release, so like when you dream, if you have a bad dream or whatever, like say that you have a dream that someone cheats on you or whatever, it's probably just a fear. Now, when you don't have a lot of fears and you're working on your daily practice, which I am here to testify that this is true, you'll have dreams that will tell you like about your future. Or one time I had a dream, unfortunately, I was at Trump's mansion. I astral projected to his mansion because I had just learned about all the fun things he was doing there. And I was just like, okay, whatever, forgot about it, went to bed that night. All of a sudden, I'm walking through his mansion. I woke up the next day and I was like talking to my dad. I'm like, dude, I just went to his mansion and I didn't want to. But there's other beings and bigger energies outside of us that allow things to come through to our vessel so that we can see them for some reason. I'm not a scientist, so I can't tell you why for every dream, but once you release the emotional blocks, you're going to start to have dreams where you're going to completely different dimensions. You're traveling places that you've never been before. You're not stuck in a liminal space or a place where you had a traumatic experience happen to you. Because I've had those too, where I go back to a place where a lot of trauma happened to me, and it'll be a different dream, but the building that I'm in is the same house where my trauma happened until I healed it. Then I never dreamt about it again, luckily. Activating the empathetic magic. So the more that you have empathy for others and actually, because we can get in so much pain sometimes that it's so easy to not feel bad for other people. I'm guilty of that. I'll be going through some really hard shit, and I'll see someone else going through something, and then my normal self wants to have empathy, but I can tell that I'm really not doing okay when I'm just I don't fucking care. I have my own shit I'm worried about. That's a negative thing to say, but it's true. It's because I have emotional baggage in those moments. I lose empathy. I lose the magical source. So releasing emotions is so freaking important to your spiritual growth. And there's magic in empathy. When you have empathy for other people, you're releasing a good energy to them, and of course it comes back, because that's how the universe works. Whoever watches over Earth is oh, look at you down there being a nice person and making this person happy and making it a beautiful place. Here's a gift for you. Thank you. We get rewarded for that. We get rewarded for being a good person by having a good life, or having good friends in our lives, or not being a creepy person that hides in their apartment all the time. Not saying you're creepy if you do, but I'm thinking Jeffrey Dahmer, crazy people like that probably were never good people. So they ended up having just really weird lives. We don't. We get the perspective of magic. We see magic because we're empathetic. Yes, we carry on other people's energy, but that is something I believe that the universe is just trying to get you to be aware of your own feelings. If you feel someone else's sadness or stress, chances are you're already having your own as well. So your vibrational match is bouncing off one another. Okay, anyway, back to less seriousness. Let's get into the juicy stuff. Examining self-identity. Be careful with the identity issues right now. We don't have to identify with anything. I have 3 different wigs: black hair, blonde hair, and an ashy blonde hair, and I feel like a different person when I wear them. I prefer the blonde one because I feel more like myself, but my point is that if I was really crazy, I'd say, hey, this brown wig, when I have this wig on, I want you to call me Jenny. And Jenny likes to play with yo-yos and read books outside. And then this wig, I could name it Brittany, and Brittany likes to just tan in the sun and sometimes do nature walks. No identity issues. My true self, doesn't matter what I'm wearing, who I'm around, or what I'm doing, I will always be me if I'm not having identity issues. When you have identity issues and you don't know your own values, you're not going to get respect. If you don't know your own morals and your own values, you're just going to willy-nilly through life, and whoever's on the opposite end of God is going to be throwing all kinds of tricks at you just to laugh at you when you're what the fuck? Why did this happen? I have to change my tire on the side of the road. And then, the dark side's laughing at it, or you trip on your shoelace and then they start laughing. God, on the other hand, is yo, here's a new pair of shoes. You get my point. Speaking through metaphor here. All right, I'm going to keep going. That was a good message already, but let me just keep on going because I'm liking the flow here. No one specific, no specific topic. Just kind of ADHD in it. Okay, so we have an apology coming through. Some of you need to humble yourself and apologize. But here's the hard part. Accepting that you went against your own values, if you did, and maybe because you're probably a loving person, if you said something you didn't mean to someone and it hurt their feelings, there's this resistance piece of it where you're oh well, I'm just gonna numb out and pretend that didn't happen. But deep down it's eating you up because you are an empathetic person. No matter what you're going through, even if what you said was valid, it doesn't feel good. It's like drinking our own poison. Accepting that you made a mistake is going to be the first challenge. The second one, if you're prideful, is apologizing. But the apology isn't so much for the other person. Actually, it's more for you, because then you don't send out that negative energy anymore, and you're also being able to hold yourself accountable. You're able to let the person know, like, hey, what I did, what I said, that was out of line, and I'm sorry. Or empathizing with someone. I don't know. Empathy is a huge topic, I noticed, in this little reading that we're doing. If we don't hold on to our empathy, we're going to end up on the dark side. And during this Great Awakening, empathy is going to be like the iron rod that keeps us going. All right, I'm going to think of a fun question. So, in human terms, on Earth, the fun things about Earth. Let's see what this is. Oh, it's a blank card. Okay, the fun things about Earth, like money, love, money. Money for you is the Empress. Structure, order, security, and discipline. You need to discipline yourself. Start your own business, create a schedule for it, do some market research, and commit your time every day, at least 1 hour. Some people will have like 3 hours on their schedule, but if you're like barely like halfway in, halfway out, give yourself 1 hour a day where you're either studying, hands-on working on something, what is the word where you're like networking, meeting people like at certain places where your business might do well at. Does that make sense? Like if you sell whistles, you could go to like a dog store or something and be like, hey, you want to be friends or whatever? Anyway, you get my point. Okay, so structure yourself, and you already know, that'll bring you more money. You won't be broke. You won't go down to the point where you're like, how am I going to pay for this gas? You're always going to have enough. Two of Pentacles, balance, change, flexibility, restraint. So be careful how you're spending your money. Maintain a balance. Work hard and buy things that you love, but also, have a savings account. Be logical. Maybe even do like a little storage where you have food, just in case World War IV happens. Page of Wands, catalyst, creation, conception, fearlessness. So like if you have an idea that you want to present to the world, or there's like some sort of content that you've been wanting to do, just be fearless and do it. Like I start doing like what I'm doing right now, I start to get all just like weird and like and my energy starts to go up. Before this video, I was sitting like this. And I was listening to sad music and I was singing it loud, and then I was judging myself for not having a good voice, and I was in a dark place, man. Then I had to tell my angels, yo, I need your help, because I need to go do what makes me feel better, which is this. And my dad, he's been doing readings my whole life. He still gets nervous to do readings. So whatever it is that you enjoy doing, there's always going to be that little ounce of fear if you really love doing it and you want to be good at it, but don't let that get in your way, okay? So, calling someone out. There's a choice that you need to make. You're either done or you're not. Quit trying to live a double life. There's some of you out there who are acting one way towards one person. Internally, you don't feel that way, and you're presenting your life to someone else a way that it totally isn't. If your home life sucks and you're unhappy in your marriage or your relationship, don't go out telling people that it's perfect. Don't sit there with your partner and, let's just act like everything's fine because I don't want to have to argue. I don't want to deal with the real root of the issue. It's time to make a choice. You can choose to live in that miserable triple, double life if you want, or you can choose to be fearless and make moves from there. And decide that it's okay to be alone. Like, you're not going to be alone. There's way too many people on this planet. Why do you think they do population control? I mean, we're not going to run out of humans. There's animals, support animals. There's food, pretty lights, coffee. Okay, so clarity on your situation. What's something that you need clarity of? The Lovers. So trust was broken in a friendship or a relationship. And it kind of created like a disharmony between you and them, which caused some emotional distress. Back to the emotional stuffing. Let's not keep adding that to our emotional Christmas tree. But basically, a way to like help in that situation is to just like go celebrate what you're grateful for. Enjoy the things that you do have, even if other things feel like they're falling apart. Because like if we were to all die tomorrow, like I don't know about you, but I would want to just like dance around in the moon, maybe naked, I don't know, with a fire, laughing, singing, dancing, doing everything I've ever wanted. I wouldn't care about what color clothes I was wearing or how my makeup looked at that time. I would just maybe parkour everywhere. I don't know. I would enjoy it. So whatever you can find joy in right now, I think that that will help lessen the load and the tension between you and whoever, as long as it's realistic and independent. If you're having an issue with someone right now, I don't suggest you invite them out with you to go have fun. I suggest you do it on your own, spend some time with yourself, and then revisit the friendship after that. Someone misses you. I miss you. No. Someone misses you. They're thinking about you a lot. Or for others of you, you really miss some people and it's maybe causing you some sadness. I just had a friend pass away. Actually, I mentored her and I miss her a lot. I missed her before she died, and then I found out she died, and of course that's the fun moment where it's like, oh, I'm never gonna see them again. But luckily, she's with me now. She's gonna help me with these readings. So anyway, if you miss someone, tell them that you miss them. Take care of your responsibilities. You gotta stay determined to release, because it's your responsibility. Your happiness is your responsibility. It's nobody else's. So you need to release what you need to release. Sometimes I even like to get rid of some of my clothes or clutter that I have or things that I have to almost feel like I'm releasing things in my life, like metaphorically, that, and like showing myself that I'm not afraid to let go. This is my favorite card that I wrote. It might make you laugh. Have you seen that video? Sneaky little snake. You guys got some snakes in your grass. Either you're sneaking around or someone's sneaking around on you. Don't come for me. You know, I'm not saying go yell at your partner and tell them that they're cheating. It could be a friend too. There's some people talking behind your back, or there's definitely some disloyalty happening, and you could also be feeling that. That could also be part of the tension. A lot of these things that we're dealing with inside, sometimes it's not even anything to do with our perfect lives. Like, not perfect, but our blessed lives. It could just be we love someone, but in a distance they're actually talking shit on us, and we can feel that internally because our soul can hear it, and our soul's like, why? So anyway, there's a sneaky snake, and adults only, maybe some sexual tension. Don't mislabel yourself. That's the whole theme of this reading. Do not mislabel or misjudge your life based off of how you're feeling. Don't go assuming that, oh, I'm depressed, so I'm screwed, or I gotta move, so I'm, my life's falling apart, blah, blah, blah. Don't catastrophize. Like, a lot of stuff is out of our control, and sometimes it's just really simple fixes, like the sexual tension one. Maybe you and your partner just need to start being more active, you know what I'm saying? Or you need to heal that part of your body. Or you need to go find yourself a boyfriend or a girlfriend or whatever. Or go to a store and get a toy. Whatever you want. There's sexual tension that needs to be released, and that'll help a lot. And the last one is the Eight of Swords. Entrapment, helplessness, courage, and self-discipline. So locking it in, making the decision that you're going to make yourself feel better, making the decision that you're going to leave today, and then tomorrow you're going to have a whole new day. You can rename yourself tomorrow if you want to. But tomorrow's a new day. Breathe the fresh air. Take things on as they come. Don't do anything you don't feel like doing. Besides work, if you really need to pay your bills. Go to work, whatever. But don't say shit that you don't feel like saying. Don't answer phone calls you don't feel like answering. Don't laugh if you don't think it's funny. Like, it's a new day to rediscover who you are. Okay? And have courage. Like, shit, go skydiving. Maybe do something that you've always wanted to do, but you've been afraid of doing. So these are all just ways. Obviously, the whole theme of this reading is that some of y'all depressed as fuck, just like me, and here's your solution and your answers. And usually I'm more serious than this. This is just how I deal with, instead of talking like this. Hi, everyone. So here's your reading. I'm really sad, because then I'd just be in my selfish mindset. I'm hyper, so I'm doing it for you. Anyway, my best friend's calling. I hope you enjoyed that reading. Comment below. Say what up. Tell me your name. Tell me your sign. Good night.